Well, even with all the buildings along the Las Vegas Strip and all the action here, this is one of the city's biggest attractions. Allegiant Stadium opened back in 2020.
The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports.
And that's not going to be returned, as so many kicking teams elect to do. This is past the landing zone, and we'll start at the 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. A former Oklahoma State Cowboy, it's Chuba Hubbard.
And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31.
He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's 2nd down. You look at this Raiders defense.
They were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
One thing you always look for when you're evaluating a defense, how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get? How about last week's game? The number was 6. Phenomenal performance.
Looking to throw, Young. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
A give, running right, it's Hubbard.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Throwing, Young. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Tough spot here. 3rd down and 11.
To throw, Young. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
No surprise at all. They're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
Here's the Panthers punter now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. This is brought in at the 21. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll be taken down right around the 27. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Hands it off out of the gun, and he'll get a couple up to the 29. When you look at this defense,
currently number 1 in the NFL against the run.
Now if they could just get their pass defense in line, this unit would be really, really strong. And remember the conversation with the defensive coordinator? He wants them to rush the passer better. He wants to see the quarterback on the ground. They've got to create some sacks.
And he said it starts early and often. We'll see if they can get to him.
Here's 3rd and 3. Back to throw, Willis. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have the Raiders' 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the 1st down.
Willis looking to throw it.
Buying time to his left.
That's to the left side where he's got Bowers.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. So 8 yards on the completion there, and it'll be 2nd and a couple.
Here's a handoff out of the gun.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
Now they'll audible to something else. Throw left side, pulled in by Tucker.
The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
The Raiders at 8-1 on the year. And they've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. Now they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37.
14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider 1st. So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Over the middle, hooks up with the tight end Bowers. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Brock Bowers.
His 9th touchdown of the season.
And the Raiders will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
Coming off every player's friend, the open week from last weekend.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Even if you're coming off of a loss as they did, the open week is exactly what you need after you kind of get over it a little bit, right? Rest up the mind, rest up the body, get yourself ready to go. And they have to be eager to play again, especially since they lost the last time out.
In motion left here, one of their tight ends.
Straight ahead with Hubbard.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
Young going to give it up on the touch pass. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away.
Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Panther football to start quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 2nd and 14 upcoming. Young now.
Got his man. It's Jonathan Mingo.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch. Not much yardage afterwards.
Now a 3rd and 6.
Off the play fake, Young.
Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Willis.
Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Oh, nice defensive effort there, providing the hit as the ball got to the receiver, separates him from the catch, and normally he's a sure-handed target.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And the Raiders are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. Right back to him on first down. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great effort there.
With his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Raiders have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
And they'll go again here with Hubbard.
5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves them with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
Here's 3rd and 6.
Here is Young. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
Now a hit and a loose football. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is. And if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy, this is coming at a bad time, we want to keep playing, the answer can be yes. Because when teams are on a hot streak, they want to keep going. But what the veterans are telling the young guys in the locker room, an open week is always good, guys. Take it and let's go with it.
2nd and 10. Here's Willis.
He's going to loft one deep over the middle. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way down to the 24-yard line.
Willis looking to throw it.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Back to throw, Willis.
Escaping the pressure right. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
Dancing to his left. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders.
Alec Pierce, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 21-0. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away.
and not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. And the Raiders are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
From the gun, here's Willis. Over the middle, hauled in by Pierce.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
He's going to float this one deep right side.
And that's going to be incomplete.
And with apologies to Dylan Thomas, apparently they're not going to go gently into the half. They're still out there firing haymakers. They took a chance on a deep ball there, but it winds up incomplete.
Now a 2nd and 10. Willis out of the gun. That's into the hands of his tight end, Bowers.
Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1.
Willis looks to pass it here.
Flush to his right. And he will not throw it away. He goes out of bounds, well shy of the line of scrimmage, so that's a sack. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
So when the defense complains about having to do pursuit drills in the heat of training camp, plug in this play. Excellent pursuit. Force the quarterback out of the pocket. He ends up trying to run for it. Instead, he goes out of bounds and loses yardage. That goes down as a sack for the defense.
Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And the lead will hold at 3 touchdowns.
One of the few things that hasn't gone right in this first half. They had a chance there for late points, but this one winds up off the mark.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. 1 second, all that remains.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway.
And we will not see a return of the dynamic kickoff. And the first drive of the second half will commence from the 30-yard line. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Here's Willis. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Now Willis to throw. That's complete to Pierce. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
This now a 3rd and 4. To throw, here's Willis. And that's caught inside the 30. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Romeo Doubs, 64 yards. And the Raiders come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the 3rd quarter. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it is 28-0. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They'll start on the ground with Hubbard. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. Well, this defense, they've got the 4-score advantage, and you can see why they continue to bottle up the run game, and really they've just been sharp in all facets here in this one, CD.
Yeah, they've kept that offense in check the entire game, and I think it's been led by what you just talked about, that defensive front, which has not allowed them to run the football and establish control of the line of scrimmage.
Second down, another chance for Hubbard. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 13 yards, first down, Panthers.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Young to throw it. He's going to air one out. That is incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Third quarter from Southern Nevada. Here's a 2nd and 10. A give up the middle. Hubbard breaks through the contact. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
That was a really nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on first down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
They'll try and run for this with Hubbard. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
I think this running game, or should I say lack of one, is making this defense look better than what they really are.
Now Young on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. And the Panthers turned away on 4th down. And the Raider D, they get the football back. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Give them 12 yards that time and a Las Vegas first. The partner still in the third quarter, but they've got this one well in hand and still airing it out with gusto and picking up some nice gains.
And even in lopsided games like this, you don't really see starters get lifted or the foot come off the gas before.
Oh, a first mistake for him in the ball game as it's intercepted. And the Panthers are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the third quarter, it would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
Following the interception, Young. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. It's Young off play action. Flushed out right.
A short throw to Conklin, the tight end.
And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down.
In today's NFL, we're accustomed to the tight end getting downfield and creating plays and wreaking a little havoc in the secondary. Not on this one, though. They diagnosed that one really well.
Tried the dump off, lost yardage. From the shotgun, it's Young. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. A great play there. 41 yards.
And the Panthers take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And it's now a 28-7 ball game.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback. And we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10.
And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
To throw, here's Willis. He'll get the tight end Bowers involved.
And it's a fumble. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. So both teams trade touchdowns, and the third as we're through 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense, I think, in the future. If you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Being chased out left. Oh, he just needed to throw it away, but instead, out of bounds he goes, and that's a sack. It's a loss of 10 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Now Willis. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by J.C. Horn. And the Panthers are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
A play fake. Now Young. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
They'll bring a tight end in motion right. Young. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the first down marker. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down. Looking to throw, Young. Open man here is Conklin. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they've become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak. And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Young's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Young will set to throw.
Young is intercepted for the 3rd time this game. Picked by Cameron Bynum. And the Raiders are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line.
This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
Willis throws another interception, his 3rd of the game. And that's now a half-dozen interceptions for him over the last 2 games. Because, CD, remember, he threw 3 in the last ball game and now 3 more here.
And the way that you present it, partner, I'm not sure what sounds worse, right? Half a dozen over the last 2 games or 3 the last game, 3 this game. Either way, it's way too many. And that's something they'll have to work on, hoping to get through the rest of this game without having to address it again.
Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And the Raiders pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point. But being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down.
Willis out of the gun. Open man down the field. It's Bowers through the middle of the field. inside the 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Brock Bowers,
his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game.
And the Raiders are closing in on a 9th victory on the year as they extend their lead.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. They were coming off the extra week of rest, but this team started sluggish, and it really didn't get any better from there, and trailing big here in this fourth quarter.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back.
Behind the chains, 2nd and 13. On the counter, this is Hubbard.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Third down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard.
And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Got a man, that's Liggett.
And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. Escaping the pressure right. Good footwork at the 30. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Willis.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Carlson now to add the extra point.